Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SimCity 2013. I haven't played this game in a while, and when I say that, I mean probably a little over a week, I think. And you know, I was gonna say something, but then it entirely escaped my mind. No, what I was gonna say was that, however, I do know that, we don't really have much of anything we can do here, and excuse me while I try and fix my mouse, because the cord is getting caught on something and it's bothering me. It's still not ideal. If you could, there we go. I think I fixed it. Well, you know, you'd think that I'd work these kinds of things out before I, start recording, right? But no, that doesn't happen. But I have been trying to say that I know we didn't do a whole lot in the last episode. I remember not doing a whole lot in the last episode because there isn't really much we can do at this point. We are left with, what we have, because we can't plop any RCI. All right, now it's really okay. All right, I'll be okay. Because we're left with, like space that is outside of the normal box, and we can't plop RCI outside there, which is bothersome and annoying. At the very least, we can zone outside of here, like along the outskirts of the city. That's the very least that we can do. That's all we can really do at this point. And then I can't even zone out here. Well, I can in certain spots, but it's not even worth pursuing. So I know that we're going to have to move on to another city here relatively shortly. And we're going to do that next episode. Because this episode, I kind of wanted to just explore our city, from like an up close and personal perspective, which is something that I haven't really had a chance of doing because I worry about everything else. And I know there's an option for me to turn off the UI, which is something I want to do. I'm gonna go in here. Is it under gameplay? You can hide it in captured videos and screenshots, but that's not what I'm looking for. Planning mode camera. Apply. Does this change anything? Not that I am aware of. I thought that was gonna do something for us. Oh well. I guess you can't. I thought you could. For some reason. I think you can do that in City Skylines. I think that's where I'm getting that from. But, oh well. Not a huge deal. I'm not too concerned about it. We can deal with the UI. But, yeah, I just kind of wanted to get a closer look at it. Because I think my favorite thing about this game... well, one of my favorite things about this game is that... are the graphics. I personally think that the graphics in this game are fantastic. I would argue that they are better than City Skylines. And I'm unsure if that's a hot take or not, but I mean, they're two different styles, I think, and I don't necessarily think that they can be compared all that much. I say that because SimCity has more of like a cartoonish style to it. City Skylines has more of a style that's gunning for a realistic look. However, I think that SimCity actually does a better job of emulating a realistic look. You know, I think one of the things in City Skylines, one of the few things in City Skylines that, you know, kind of just like is for me are the graphics. You know, I think that it's probably a you know, to each their own thing, but I just personally find these graphics to be quite adequate. What could you guys possibly be protesting about? This is a wonderful city with no issues whatsoever. I think people just need to find things to bitch about. I think that's what they're doing. We obviously have no problems here. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy looking at this. I think that, you know, having it blurred out like this, having buildings and whatnot farther away blurred out, I think that's a really nice touch. Some people are annoyed by that, I know, but I think it's a really nice touch. Because it lets you focus in more on what's right in front of you, which is something I really enjoy. And see, it's just like getting up close and personal, like with these buildings, and everything just really comes together. And I think that if you zoom out, things don't look as good, but once you zoom in, you see that everything comes together, and it just, even if stuff doesn't fit, it feels like it fits. And I think that is in large part because of the graphics. So, I mean, it's just my 2 cents on it. If you have any sort of opinion on the graphics, whether it be in SimCity or City Skylines, feel free to let me know. You know, I would love to discuss this with people. Because I know this is maybe not necessarily a hot button issue with this game, or was a hot button issue with this game. I think this was one of the few things that people did not shit on this game for. But I know that at least it used to be a hot button topic, you know, whether or not the graphics in this game were better than the graphics in City Skylines. So I would love to hear people's opinions on that. I think that would allow for some pretty neat discussions to take place. These are the hotels we're approaching now. And see, I really like how this looks. Like, I really do. Just, it feels awesome. Ooh, look at that elevator. I like that. I'm all for the sleek and modern design. I love that shit. I eat that shit up. Anytime I play The Sims 4, which has been frequently recently, anytime I play it, I always go for the most modern and minimalistic furniture I can find, because it's just what I like. I can understand how it's a turnoff for a lot of people, though. I don't think it's necessarily an acquired taste, but I think that, you know, when it comes to anything, like if there's a modern home, or, you know, a modern building, I guess, for lack of a better term, I think that, you know, it turns people off because it's different than the traditional looking home or building. But I personally find them to be quite nice looking. It's just my 2 cents, though. we're now approaching a more suburban area. We've got the water treatment plant, we've got the fire station here, the university is right over there, and you've got this hotel right next to the university, which I think is pretty neat. You know, you have people coming in from out of town, going to the university. It's a good time. This area isn't as well developed over here, so I'm not going to venture that direction. I'm going to venture it this way. I know you can turn off the thought bubbles. I want to turn those off, because those annoy me. Yeah, here we go. Apply that, thank you. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore. We got a couple McDonald's popping up. Opie's, McDonald's, and I know there are Burger Kings in here somewhere, I think. That or McDonald's just has a monopoly on this market, which would not surprise me. McDonald's is better than Burger King in almost every fashion. I would argue that Burger King has better chicken sandwiches, but that's one thing I guess they have an advantage on. Everything else is a little iffy for them, in my opinion. Yeah, ooh, look at the sun. Garbage is starting to smell. Yeah? Well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I don't have any more space to upgrade our garbage dump, and I don't want to spend the money on putting in another one. So, you know, I mean, unless you want, you know, your taxes to go up so that I can reasonably afford to do that, I don't think there's anything that can be done about it. This is more of a suburban area, kind of. There isn't really a designated downtown area in this city, I don't think. Well, obviously, more so in here. But there are kind of just buildings scattered all over the place. And whether or not something is in the downtown, or considered to be in the downtown region, is a little up in the air. God, I love watching the cars and the traffic go by in this game. Even if the traffic system is broken, I just love watching the cars go by. There's something else I wanted to touch base on in this episode. I did want to change the name of the city. I know that, but that's something that I'll save for the end of the episode, and that won't take that long, so... There was something else I wanted to touch base on. I can't remember it. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of. Oh well. Not a huge deal. I'm kind of just like marveling at these buildings and these models for said buildings. I just think they're really cool. Is this a school bus stop or it's a regular bus stop? That would make sense. It's 10:40 at night. I would hope there aren't children waiting at a school bus stop. This is a school bus stop. Nobody's waiting at that. It's good. It's good. You guys, you shouldn't be waiting. That kind of stuff. This is a neat little joint right here, right next to a highway ramp. Whoa. I mean, it's pretty cool that this is like on a slope like this, but I don't think there's an actual way for people to get into this gas station. I mean, I guess right here, but that doesn't seem like it's connected. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I think it's cool looking regardless. It reminds me a lot of Pittsburgh. Like downtown Pittsburgh, you have all of those hills and whatnot, and it's the city in general is tucked away between mountains and hills, and there are a lot of slopes and various things that like that. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it personally. It's a very horrible city to try and drive through, though. I would like to make that note. If you can avoid driving through Pittsburgh, please do it. You will not have a good time, I don't think, trying to drive through it. There's a Burger King. Finally found one. They've got a pretty nice place lined up right here, right next to a bunch of different hotels and businesses. They're tucked away in a good spot. Good for them. You know what? I think that's enough looking around. I think we looked around just about everywhere. Barring a few places like over here, but that's fine. So I think that should just about do it for this episode. It is a bit on the shorter side, but this is all I wanted to do this episode, was just look around the city and, just kind of marvel at what has been created. Not that I'm some expert at designing cities or mapping road layouts or, designing cities in general, but I am proud of what I've created here, what we've created, because we did this together. No, but you know what I mean. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to change the city name. And I have already come up with a name in my head because I had been thinking about it. And I would like to preface this by saying that, sometimes you have to be a little immature with things. You can't always, put on a mature face, for lack of a better term, and, keep that obnoxious, immature part of you tucked away inside. Sometimes it has to be shown to the world. You have to let it out. And I think that I would like to let it out through the name of the city. Alright, and this is what I have come up with. We're going to call it Longdong City, okay? Now, okay, there was some thinking, there was a thought process that went into this. Longdong City kind of just rolls off the tongue, Longdong City. You don't even really have to think about saying it. You just say it, and it's easy. And that's something that I wanted to go for with the city. Not only that, but it's funny. Longdongs, those are funny. And it's immature and it's inappropriate, but we're just having a good time. That's all we need to do. We're just having a good time. We don't have to worry about doing everything in a professional manner. Just, if you want to name your city after long penises, by all means, you should be allowed to do it. And I think that I am going to, stick with it. I think it's a good name. And I will do what I did for, I think I did this for City Skylines. I think as we move on to different cities in the region, I will, if any viewers have any name ideas for cities, I will let them suggest them to me, and I'll decide if I want to use them or not. I think that's something I did for City Skylines, and I'd like to do the same thing here. But yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to do. This is the last time we're going to be in this city, barring any little visits, as we make our way through the entirety of the region. So, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode of SimCity 2013, let me know down in the comment section below. Like the video and share it with your friends. It lets me know you want to see more of any game series I do here on the channel. The link down to the game is in the description box down below if you want to pick it up for yourself. Subscribe to my channel for more gaming content. I play all sorts of games on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much, and I'll talk to you later.